Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome the 2013 valedictorian, Mr. George Goddard.
Hello. How about that right in? I guess that's why they call it PECI. You guys might not know this, but I consider myself a little bit of a loner. I tend to think of myself as a one-man wolf pack. But when I entered high school and I met Taylor, I knew he was one of my own. In my wolf pack, it grew by one. So there was two of us in the pack. I was alone at first, and then Taylor joined later. And 2 years ago, when Taylor introduced me to Donnie and Dallas, I thought, wait a second, could it be? And now I know for sure, I just added 2 more guys to my wolf pack. 4 of us guys running around PECI halls looking for cute girls' cell phone numbers. And tonight, we celebrate the fact that not only are we graduating, we are forming a giant wolf pack. I thought long and hard to come up with an accurate metaphor to illustrate our journey through high school. Our wolf pack is much too unique to settle for something simple like a roller coaster. A metaphor is a literary gift, and much time and effort is needed to perfect it. Luckily for you, I was able to come up with something that fits better than Dame Blanchard's shirts. Our high school journey is like the making of a corned beef sandwich. Before I completely lose all the respect that I've gained with you, let me explain. When we entered PECI's large swinging doors 4 years ago, we were in the early stages of forming this beautiful sandwich. We were all in our separate groups, you know, the general stereotypical groups. We had the jocks, and leading the way of the jocks were Tyler Phillip, Courtney Wilson, and a little bit later down the road, my main man, Susie Poosie. The jocks represent the meat of the sandwich. However, I can't mention meat and not include Matty Gallo. Next up, we have the bread of the sandwich. The bread represents the geniuses in our school: Ryan McKenzie, Glenn Huffman, Sydney Hennessy, and Patricia Kalaman. The bread represents the geniuses because they hold everything together, like the bread holds the sandwich together. This school and the sandwich would fall apart without the academics. So everyone goes to school to learn, right? Not Morgan Johnson. Morgan Johnson goes to school to headbutt ceiling tiles and canoodle with Shelby. In the Goddard household, every corned beef sandwich needs some cucumbers. And just like cucumbers add flavor to our sandwich, this group of artists added flavor to our wolf pack. Among the group are Harry Tamil, Emily Saunders, and Drexel Patel, who all excel at their own category of art. And the final piece of the sandwich is an absolutely essential part: the mustard. And there is no group that can better illustrate the mustard than the divas. And when I say the word diva, I can see everybody's head in the room turn and look directly at Alyssa Van Rossum. Because y'all know there ain't nobody saucier than Lulu Bear. Over these 4 unforgettable years, this sandwich has slowly started to take shape. And I think that it's safe to say, tonight, that sandwich is completed. PECI has been really good to all of us, and there's a couple people we need to thank for making our high school experience so enjoyable. First of all, it's our families. Personally, I'd like to thank my mother for being there every step of the way. The good times, the bad times, you're always there for me, Mom. Thanks for caring and doing what was right for me. I wouldn't have made it without you. And Dad, thanks for coming tonight. I'm only joking. I would not be the man I am today if it wasn't for my father being around all the time, calling me by my nickname. You get that one there. A big special thanks goes out to my second family, the Tates. I wouldn't have made it without you guys either. To all of the families, thank you for supporting us over these last 4 years. We can all agree that our teaching staff here at PECI is second to none. And on behalf of everyone, we would like to thank you for these 4 unforgettable years. Mr. Sheehan, thank you for giving us the confidence to speak publicly, because we now know that anyone can be taken serious regardless of their provocative facial hair. Thank you, Mr. Me. Not up here. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Me, for showing us how to use fire extinguishers after countless experiments gone wrong. Miss Affleck, thanks for keeping it real. In the real number system, anyway. Thanks, Mr. Young, for teaching us enough smart physics words to make us sound smart, even though we had no idea what they meant. Miss Patty Stacy, thank you for taking care of us and making sure that we got to class on time. And if we didn't, thanks for giving us a phone call home to let us know you cared. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for teaching us the real value of good wood. Miss Moon, thank you for showing us the soft side of the Dukes. Thank you, Mr. Morissette, for making English fun, right? Miss Porter, thank you for making Halloween my favorite day of the year. Bzzz. Mr. Picard, thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet a new group of people with that in-school suspension you gave me. Thank you, Mr. Garden, for putting me on the sports teams, even though I wasn't the most fit kid in school. Thank you, Mr. Ronan, for making me the most fit kid in school after your countless mayonnaise lectures. Mr. Bell, thank you for teaching me. Actually, Bell, you really didn't teach me anything, man, but thanks for coming tonight. They say it takes a community to raise a child. In our case, it took a county. We need to say thank you to everyone in our community that has helped us get where we are today. To the generous award donors, thank you for helping us ease our financial burden. To the numerous community organizations who support our athletic and arts programs, thank you for helping us achieve our dreams. Finally, to the local media, thank you for helping us showcase all of the things that we do. And a special thanks goes out to Jason Parks for giving us all a follow on Twitter. Most of all, I want to thank you guys, the class of 13, the Wolf Pack. We've gone through some tough times, but these experiences have only brought us closer. Quite recently, our good friends were in a car accident. If you walked in PECI that day, you could have heard a pin drop. This is because we are such a closely knit school that concern was flourishing through the hallways. Instead of just carrying on with our everyday lives like a normal school would do, we rallied behind Taylor, and we showed him the support that he deserves. Taylor is progressing every day, and when he gets up in the morning and sees a banner full of love and support coming from his school, that gives him the extra push to get better. PECI does not sit on the sidelines. No, we get out there and we make a difference. We've come a long way, graduates, and for some people, you may decide to take the easy path through life, but I encourage you not to settle for mediocrity. Choose the right course of action and reach heights you will one day look back on and be proud of. Live your life to the fullest. And Bryce, for goodness sakes, ask Patty out on a date already. There will be roadblocks along the way. However, they are there not to deter you from your goals. They are there to make you stronger. When a vine meets a wall, does it stop growing? No. It does the impossible. It defies gravity, and it climbs that wall. There is no obstacle that you cannot tackle, PECI. Graduation is a transitional phase. It's a time for us to celebrate an obstacle that we've overcome, but also a time for us to look at our next chapter in life. Actually, just the other day, I was visiting my older brother, Henry, as he watered his vegetable garden. He began to run through the vegetation, row by row, aisle by aisle, and two plants stuck out at me. It appeared as he had purchased a small 6-pack of tomato seedlings, 2 of which were planted, and the remaining 4 still in their small plastic container. The 2 in the garden had grown 10 times the size of the ones that remained in the container, and they were beginning to fruit. When he saw me examining the confined dwarf variety in the container, Henry dropped this powerful dose of wisdom on me. He said, "Those plants all began the same in size, maturity, and health. But the ones that left their small sheltered container have begun to flourish and grown to meet their full potential. But tomatoes are plants. They don't have brains. They didn't make the decision to branch out, but you can." As I digested this botanical enlightenment, Henry just smiled, patted me on the back, and continued to watering. What Henry said to me is exactly what we have to do, PECI. We got to be a tomato. You have to get out there and do something with your lives. Jared found this doesn't necessarily mean leave the county, but do something. Do something, class of 13, that is going to separate you from the pack. Something that is going to bring satisfaction to yourself. Because it's these things we're going to look back on in life and truly cherish. But sadly, just like Brad Reed's hairline, our time at high school is almost gone. But before we leave, I'm going to leave you with some powerful words from an inspirational artist. I got a feeling, woohoo, that tonight is going to be a good night. Thank you very much.